me, Sarah Burns and the Invisibles. And we just had the new moon a few days ago, so kind of feeling the beginning of this next cycle. And just want to thank everyone for being here and for being open to receiving whatever comes through. I like to say, believe it, receive it, leave it, or lend it. So trusting that whatever you're ready to chew on, what feels important to your soul, what has lured you into continuing this broadcast, just honoring that sacred connection that's needed in your life and releasing anything else that's not serving you. So I'm just going to open this gate and here we go. So ask the Invisible is an opportunity to bring a question for yourself, humanity, or the planet. And I like to start with a theme. And so the theme that I want to explore is something that I've been digesting on this concept of failure, on this concept of how like empowerment through failure. And what is that? What is that teaching that comes with the collapse of that which we've been creating or putting our energy towards or putting our resources towards, these times in our life where there's this great end of almost this feeling of like a premature end of a cycle. And so something I've been tasting is how to honor what foundation is needed, you know, to truly hold these visions or these projects, these inspirations that are dear to me and that may be dear to you in your life. And understanding that there are different laws. I like to think of there's the laws of this planet, of the basic physical plane laws, the laws of our bodies, that seem to move in a much slower way than perhaps maybe the laws of the soul, or I like to think of them as the great laws, the laws that govern all these pieces forming. And so as I've been exploring, what is it to be able to see a path before you and bring that path down through your actions into your life, what it is to actually create that bridge for these dreams or these ideas and anchor them in a very stable physical way. So that is my question for the Invisibles today. And if you have a question, feel free to put it on the thread. If there's not enough questions, I might be able to go on my Facebook private messages, but generally on the thread is best. And so I want to explore with the Invisibles if they have any guidance, observations, and insights regarding those people that are in situations where it feels almost this inevitability of failure. And but what is it to, if there's any guidance that can help people, if you're at that place where the dream that you're holding feels more than can truly be grounded in this life or anytime soon. And so, hello, Henny. Yes, of course you can get a reading. Yes, we're choosing people. So I'm just going to do a question and then I'll get to you next. All right. So here it's asking the Invisibles if they have any guidance for people that are feeling the inaccessibility of their dreams. Dreams are complex. aspects to analyze. Because when somebody is posing the idea of a dream, just how much of that picture can anyone truly put into that intention? Sometimes the dreams that are put forward are very physical minded, whether it's this is what you would like your dream home to be like, your dream job to be like. But if you skim off the appearance of that dream, the desired outcome of that dream, there can be many places of hollowness where the seeker has yet to explore what is it the feeling within that dream that is truly being desired. In the case of home, that feeling of being able to truly land yourself and deepen your roots with the earth. A lot of that seek for home is that, to find that relationship, to restore that relationship with this planet, to feel that you are here and in synergistic union with something that is more stable than you, that can hold you throughout the midst of all the fluctuations that life bring you. Why we bring this up is that if you have sought a dream, if you have planted a dream seed, and as you watch that seed grow, you realize that perhaps what that seed truly needs to thrive is not available right now in your life. Some people plant relationship seeds and they find the relationship. But for that relationship to be engaged with and embodied in the many layers it needs to be real and palpable. There may be holes in that commitment in yourself. What does it take for you to truly embody the foundation that is needed for your dreams? That's where we begin. On the physical level, can you physically hold your own body? Can you tend to the needs of your body? Start there. And then see if you can tend to the needs of something bigger than that. Thank you. Hello, everyone popping on. So we've got Henny here. And Henny says, and please get a reading, Shirley. And are you still here, Henny? Do you have any questions, specific questions? I like to say that we can, to bring a question for yourself, humanity, or the planet. Okay, perfect. We got your question right here. So the question is, what's the new things coming in the fall for me? All right. So we can explore, what's alive in your surroundings right now, potentially. I like to think that life in itself isn't always as direct. So there's many different paths that one person can take. And free will sure does play a role in where we go. But we can explore what's around you, what's alive. it's less about what and how you're going to be able to digest the changes that you already kind of feel, right? In your sacrum, and that store. Oh, they're kind of popping out. They're showing me this image of like, it's like I'm seeing like, so your sacral chakra, for anyone that's not fully aware, the sacral chakra is, I associate it with this place of creativity, of sexuality, of kind of that drive to grow and to build and to create. And they're showing me this, almost this like feeling of like that center of yours being almost like a little like antsy, like there's this desire to possibly create something bigger or maybe focus more on a project. And like when I see this, I'm almost seeing like this image of this track racer or somebody that's, you know, that moment when I remember doing hurdles and track and field when I was a kid, and there's this moment where, you know, you just have to wait because there's all these different teams going, you got to go through the different laps, and it's this feeling of all this almost like adrenaline or this inertia that's within the body that's ready to just go and shine, hopefully. But this patientness, like this need to be okay with when, you know, when it's go time. And I'm kind of feeling like there's something within you, something that wants to be created or explored, or like it could be a connection with a person, but it feels like if that connection's there, that connection wants to have something created of it. But they keep telling me to be patient. Well, kind of the feeling I have is like, that there's this feeling of like this, almost this like welling of like, okay, I just want to like get going. Like I have all this energy available. And so for you this fall, it's the image I have is it's less about being patient and more just being like, I'm just going to explore what I can. And so for you, something that I want to encourage is to, and this could be in your prayers too, asking for the space that's needed and the circumstances that are needed to really allow this, it really feels almost primal, like this passion or this like this energy that I see just like in you that wants to be expressed, that just putting that in your prayers, that what the space that's needed or the relationships that are needed will open up so that you can just allow this to come forth. Because I personally feel like when I tap into it, it feels big. It feels like your capacity to like birth and like this, like I said, this passion, like, and I don't know how you let this energy out in your own life, or if there's like some people, you might get more into dancing or more into like just some, who's dealing with a soulmate, but everything is at a stand. I need to move. Yeah. And I feel like for you, it's almost this sense that what's been building up within you is going to, like when you go, like kind of this image that I keep seeing of you as this like this person in track, or that's waiting for waiting for somebody to say, okay, go, the race is on. That when you go, it's like this bottle cap that's just gonna like shoot really far. And so in this process of, like, I wouldn't personally even focus on the patience part, but more on being able to trust your life to be able to support this full expression you, this full all steam go ahead you. And so something like ways to play with that too, when I think of what are practices that somebody like what are practices that can kind of help at least like not tame, but like give an outlet. And so something for you that could be supportive is maybe getting into running, or getting into something where you can just almost an outlet that can bring you into momentum in your body. Another way of doing that would be like dancing, like going out dancing, but dancing where you can dance really hard. So it could be a class, but it could also be like, I know where I am, there's things called dance temple out here, or ecstatic dance if you connect with your ecstatic dance community. And ecstatic dance is this format that it's a non-verbal dance floor. So people come to like move and dance, and you don't have to, it doesn't, there's a lot more freaky expressions of dance there, because there's the idea that dance is also therapeutic and dance helps move energy in the body. And so if you just want to stretch out there, you can. If you just want to like hang your head and shake for an hour, you could. There's really no limits to what you want. You love dancing. But I feel that that could be an outlet, and it could even be something to just to help move this energy through your system, because it feels like this energy is just like building. And yeah, I wouldn't want that to, what can happen over time is if that building happens for too long, it can create stagnation, like it, that excess of like building and kind of holding it in. And so finding ways to move that through your system. And I wouldn't be surprised that as you create more outlets for that energy, how in your life it's going to, you're going to start seeing the balance happening more, and more opportunities are going to come forth. So just exploring that, exploring ways of like moving and having momentum or drive or direction or running, and that could be helpful for you to build routine. And it feels like you might even meet someone, or like it feels like that changing those or putting those patterns more in your life it feels like it could connect you with something special this fall. All right, that's for you, my dear. So next, we have Evita. Hey, sweetie. And hello, everyone popping on. It's Saera The Invisibles, and it's an opportunity to bring a question for yourself, humanity, or the planet. You are so welcome, honey. Yeah, I want you to do something with that energy. It's potent. So, Real says, are you still here, honey? Says, hello, everybody. I am planning to move to Portland and wonder if there's any guidance to make the shift I'm looking for. Ah, Portland is a really, really special place. I was just, as I've been planning my tour, which I'm actually, for anyone that's watching too, I've decided to cancel my tour or to postpone it till the spring, but Portland is on the spots of my tour. And what I think about Portland is that when I first arrived there, it felt, so I was raised in Toronto in Canada, for anyone. I am out here in BC. And Portland, when I walked through, it felt like my city. It felt like Toronto, and which is supposed to be kind of, they call it the most European of the cities in Canada, almost. And so I just wanted to share that it's a special place, but let's see if they have to say anything. Are you here, Viola? I just realized I don't know if you've responded before I do a reading for you. And so while I'm waiting to see if she is coming on. Oh, you're here. Fabulous. All right. Let's see. The main thing I'm seeing, which seems kind of obvious, but I'm seeing, oh, you say it reminds you of Europe. Yeah. Yeah, the thing that seems obvious, but it's just, it feels like it's more about the connections of the people that are going to help you kind of like curve yourself into the pocket that makes sense to you. Because the image I see is almost that there's, this capital cities, there's all these different pockets of influence, different communities, different, associations. There's so much overlapping on itself, and what you sink yourself into, that current you sink yourself into, is what's going to keep things alive for you, or what's going to stagnate you or isolate you. And some of the things that I'm thinking of that I love about Portland is I should plug my friend Steve Odell has a Speakeasy Underground, which is this amazing tea temple place, and they're creating this community hub during the daytime now, I believe. And they come and drink tea and do poetry, and it's a really sweet special spot. So I would encourage you connecting with Steve Odell, and his company is called Rabbit Moon Tea Arts, I believe. So I encourage people to check that out if you're in Portland. And I'm curious if do you have connections? Because like it's like how much studying you've done, or if you already have a place lined up, but like I almost feel that there's like ways of testing the waters is like reaching out to friends or friends of friends and getting kind of making it known that you're wanting to flow through this area, or you're wanting to resituate. I mean, you might already be doing this, but yes. Okay. Yeah, it's like the main thing that I'm seeing is just being aware of any patterns that might take you into, you want to move in with friends who are in tea and energy work. Oh, perfect. Great, because I was like, I'm seeing like my friend Steve Odell, and then Emma Cat, who's a psychic woman. And it's almost like the image I see though is just being able to gauge yourself on if certain needs aren't feeling fulfilled, in that are kind of sending you into maybe potential patterns of like, I want to say like not quite isolation, but they're just showing this, there is this line where, especially in the winter, like I'm kind of seeing just being aware, like if there's any patterns of kind of like going into a depression or into like, I'm seeing this, what could happen. And so just remembering to keep those relationships strong and being open to building, like just continuing to build the network of supportive influences in your life is going to be really important for you through the winter. I mean, that seems pretty obvious, but that's what I'm seeing for you, my dear. And I look forward to coming and seeing you. Another place is the Everett House, which is an amazing bathhouse, elixir bar. They have saunas and big hot tubs and raw juices. It's called the Everett House. And that's a really lovely little hub as well. All right. Well, since we do not have any more questions, unless somebody pops on, I'm gonna do a little farewell song and then close unless somebody else pops in. There are reasons to hold yourself closed. Open wide like the window. Spread wings on for your body to carry on all of your ways. And go to the moon. Soar by the wise and let it all flow on, let it all flow on, let it all flow on, let it all flow on. All right, so thanks everyone for popping on, and I look forward to connecting with you all next week. If you ever want to, I started doing BioNation Thursdays, so that can be distance. I've seen people all around the world, and also in person if you're on Salt Spring Island, and I'd love to work with you in private if that's feeling called, if you'd like a little more one-on-one. And until next, aloha.